And we are live. So today I'm going to be discussing a really important topic, a really interesting topic that's close to my heart, and it's about five things that I learned by getting good with women. So first thing that I actually experienced and I have learned over the years, seeing people being in the field and actually learning in the process, even like having a lot of successes, so on and so forth, and observing people around me. I have definitely experienced and learned that most men are really, really, really afraid of approaching women. And it is kind of understandable, but not understandable at the same time. Everybody has approach anxiety to something new, so that part is a little understandable, but actually, that is not the reason most people do not talk to strangers. There's a level deeper to it. Actually, talking to strangers and saying hi is not that hard. We say hi to people all the time. But the real anxiety actually comes from the awkwardness and the burden of carrying the conversation once you initiate the conversation. That's the major bottom line why actually most men are afraid to talk to women. It's not like you women are not getting approached, but you definitely know that most men are not able to carry the conversation because they have either not developed the social finesse to carry it, or the understanding, or the empathy part of initiating and keeping things calm, light, and slow, and engaging at the same time in the starting of the conversation. So that is one of the parts that most men actually struggle with, and that is something that can be worked on. The second reason why this happens more is because most men do not accept that it is a two-way street. They do not accept that many of the times women will be doing something else. They might be in a different state of mind, and they just don't want to acknowledge that the situation and the outcome might not be exactly the way they want it. But the truth and the interesting way to approach it is actually just fully accepting for whatever happens to be. Just go and do and engage and have fun with the best of your abilities and engaging with the process, having a good time, and not having any sort of outcome attached to it. Fully accepting the worst that can happen. You get brutally rejected, you get however scarred, as that never happens by the way. But just being okay with that negative experience happening as a possibility, but still going for it because you focus on the positive side. What if things work out in the best of your intentions? And a lot of times that actually happens. Women are actually, they want to meet good people. So it's actually a good thing for them. And accepting the negative, still doing the job, and focusing on the right things that can happen and the possibilities actually helps you to overcome this particular problem in a big way. Secondly, the second point that I learned in this process and I have experienced over the past couple of years is many men think that women are the others. They think women are some mystical creatures that have landed on the earth, and they don't think that women are equally human. They're equally human. They go to pee, they take a big load of shit in the mornings or whenever. They have equally different type of desires. They feel hungry, they feel ugly, they feel all different ways of being as a man feels, and there is not too much difference. Like 99.9999% of your composition is actually the same. So just recognizing that fact will give you a lot of calmness as well as bandwidth to actually channel and work on the emotional and the human part of it, rather than thinking that you have to do some circus in front of the woman for being. A woman really, really appreciates a good presence, a good way of being, and just relating as a human being. And that's actually a gift to them, because that's not that common. So being grounded in your being and just relating as a human being is something they really enjoy. And the third thing I learned, and third thing that is definitely true, is life is about experiencing more and more things in life. And of course, there is different type of stories, and um, people have setbacks and pain, problems, and whatnot. But there is also a lot of happiness that's actually comes with it, because you know that you experienced something. You were not passing by your life, you were actually living it. Check out my previous video where I talk about living life. But life is about experiencing and engaging with the process of living, and just taking shots and shots and shots and just doing your best every single time, and getting some feedback in, learning how to engage with it, with the process as the life goes on, and getting reference experiences so that you know how to deal with those situations better when they come the next time. So a lot of it is just learning and enjoying the process of, making a fool of yourself. It's not that bad. It's not that bad, trust me. Everybody, a 40-year-old, a 50-year-old is still learning. They're on their path of experiencing their journey and finding out how things work. As they grow, they learn more and more, and the experience itself is a very beautiful thing. So not being afraid of that is really, really useful in the context of just having a lot of experiences with different types of people, including women. So you learn this when you actually have a lot of experiences with women, that you learn to appreciate the process of just learning and engaging with life. The fourth thing that is important in this process is you are your own worst enemy as well as your best friend. So you learn about your ego, one learns about your mind, and how your mind is actually your friend in many ways and your worst enemy in many ways. A mind is like a chariot, and it's like a workhorse that's been designed to do the best for you. But it's designed to do the best for you with the operation manual that it has. And if the operation manual is outdated, it cannot do the best for you. So the part of being an adult and being a man is about having the right operation manual and updating it as and when the time requires. So you rewrite that manual, the operation manual for the mind, so that you get to the desired outcomes and your mind works for you, not against you. A lot of it is also about being in touch with your emotions, being fully present and then being aligned with how you feel. You feel the emotions, you know where your mind is at, you feel the rush, you feel the calmness, you feel the emotion swing, you feel being even keeled. And then you fully be with your emotions, you accept it fully, and then you decide what you want to do. And that observation behind the thoughts and the knowing that you can mold yourself in the ways you want to be and who you want to be and do things in the manner that make you happy gives one a lot of agency in their life, and that is actually a really powerful thing that you learn in the process. So learning to be good with women actually helps you get in touch with yourself more. So it helps one to get in touch with oneself, and it's empowering to say the least. Now, the fifth important point is, contrary to the popular opinion, women love intimacy, they love sex, they love and enjoy sex. I don't know why this notion has been instilled in the current generation when we think of us as when we think of our society as being really advanced, and we are evolved species, but we think that for some reason women do not love sex, but they are literally 50% of the people who give birth to the new generation. If you ask any woman and they have been into you, they will tell you and they will engage with you in the manner that literally tells them that literally tells that they love and enjoy physical intimacy. Now, the problem is most men approach it in a more aggressive way and in a non win-win way. A woman wants to experience sex, and sex is good for them, but they also want to experience some emotions with it. They also want to see it as something, a connection, and something that is culminated in sex. Because getting sex is not that hard for them. What's hard is to get a good experience leading to that. So, if you inject some fun and experience to the process leading to the sex, it's actually very, very indulging for them, and they really, really like it. So, most men should do that. It makes it a win win for everyone. So, those are the five things that I have experienced in my journey, and I believe those five things should be known by every man and woman today. Thanks.